10, 9.
Now, get ready for Buzzworthy Radio, the show that gets you up close and personal with some of today's hottest stars. Now, here's Novell J. Lee.
Hey, it's Novell J. Lee, and welcome into a new Buzzcast here on Buzzworthy Radio. Had the chance to sit down and speak with Danny Pino from Law & Order Special Victims Unit on NBC. He plays the role of Detective Nick Amaro, and we got to talk to him a little bit about the character, the makeup of the character, as well as what's coming up this Wednesday night on the episode entitled October Surprise, with special guest star Kirk Acevedo. We even got to talk to him about him playing the role of Desi Arnaz in the biopic Lucy, which aired on CBS 10 years ago. All that and more with Danny Pino. Check it out. This is Danny Pino. He stars as Detective Nick Amaro on Law & Order Special Victims Unit. It's funny how I first fell in love with your acting when I saw you play the role of Desi Arnaz in the Lucy movie 10 years ago.
Wow, 10 years ago. Thank you.
Yes, yeah. That had to have been a really great role for you to step into, playing the part of an actor who a lot of fans, even to this day, remember and love, and basically not just seeing what happened on the screen of Lucy, but you're also watching the backstage turmoil that Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz had.
For me, it was definitely an honor. Being Cuban American, I was raised on I Love Lucy. You know, I think kids are still raised on I Love Lucy. I mean, you can find it, pretty much at any time of the day, playing somewhere. So for me, it was an absolute honor to play him and to pay homage to his legacy. Not only as an actor, but also as a mogul, an icon. And it was interesting to read his book and to step into his shoes and to try and forget his influence on American television, and on me personally, and just play him as a human being with faults and shortcomings and triumphs, and so that to me was the biggest challenge, was just to ground him.
Okay, I like that, and it was just for me. I never heard anything about the backstage turmoil about Desi, to be honest with you, and so when I watched it, it was groundbreaking for me because I never knew in any kind of fashion as to what their marriage was about. So it was kind of a learning experience for me also to watch that and watching your performance as well. It was breathtaking. It was absolutely wonderful.
Thank you, Lee. Listen, I really appreciate it. I think you and I had very similar experiences when I signed on to play Desi. I didn't fully understand who he was either. It was after I got cast and did the research. I held him on a very high pedestal, kind of a heroic figure that could do no wrong. And as I read the script and it had him womanizing and drinking, and I was like, no, I don't want to play this guy. I don't want to play him that way. I think that it's very archetypal. They're making him out to be a villain. And then I read his book, and where he says, yeah, I drank, yeah, I womanized, and I realized, wait a minute, all right, so he has faults. Now, How do I play him as a man with faults, but with also some incredibly profound moments with Lucy, and although their marriage disintegrated, they were always very close. And there's a reason for that. They loved each other very much. And like he said, I Love Lucy was never just a title.
Yeah, definitely agree. And after that, I followed you to Cold Case, where you were on for 7 years, and then now you're here on Law & Order SVU, which is now where I watch you currently as Detective Nick Amaro, and he's definitely one of those detectives that loves to follow on his intuition and sometimes be right majority of the time.
Yeah.
which is
what
I like about him.
Instinct. You like his how he follows his instincts.
Pretty much, yeah. Because I wish I had it. I really don't.
Well, I don't have it either, so don't feel bad. I mean, that's one of the things I love about him too. He's intelligent, but not book smart. Necessarily. I think his intelligence and his intuition come from years of observation and interrogation and understanding human behavior, and so that I'm able to work into scenes and picking up on certain mannerisms that the guest stars bring, which we're very fortunate to have on our show. Guest stars who just come in and they're ready to work. They're ready to play, and that makes our jobs as regulars much easier. So. Amaro's an interesting character to explore.
And speaking of guest stars, on this coming Wednesday's episode entitled October Surprise, you got some great ones coming in, especially with Kirk Acevedo, who I'm also a fan of. I actually just spoke with Raúl Esparza a few minutes ago, and he mentioned how this episode, it seems like you and him played off of each other. You and Raúl played off each other so well in this episode that we're gonna hear some Spanish in this episode, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's fascinating that both Raúl and I we were raised in Miami, and we use as much Spanglish as we do English or Spanish at any particular time. Probably Spanglish more often than not when we're offset. But in this episode, we were encouraged by Warren Light to really explore that. I mean, both of our characters are Latino. Both of our characters have Cuban heritage. And so we were really able to not only connect on that level, but also challenge each other on that level, which was exciting.
That's going to be interesting. Hopefully, this is probably where I'm going to put the closed captions on, so I know exactly what the words are, and hopefully I'll be able to decipher what they mean. But I'm going to try.
Well, I think with the emphasis we're placing on them, even if you don't understand exactly what the words mean, I think you're going to get it.
We're going to have an idea of what they're saying. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Fair enough. It was interesting towards the beginning of the season. We noticed it looks like Nick is not wearing his wedding ring anymore. Yeah, I know that the wife and him had rough patches. She even took a job in D.C. just to separate them because they needed time apart. I bring this up for a reason. I never realized that there are many, many people on the internet that took time and effort to basically make videos of Nick and Benson. And people want Nick and Benson. People want Nick and Benson. People want Nick and Benson. Have you seen that, or have you heard that there are fans that are kind of wanting the two to get together?
That I've not seen the videos. I've I think received a few tweets about Nick and Benson getting together, but I think they want Benson to be happy. They fans who've watched the show for 15 seasons want to see Benson in a relationship, that doesn't fall apart or is unrequited. And I think that's where it's from. And both Benson and Amaro, they have an understanding of each other. They have a respect for each other. I think there's an obvious, deep caring for one another. And I think that's what people are responding to, Do I think it'll ever happen? Probably not. I think that's a kind of relationship that might not work in a professional atmosphere. But I do feel like Benson going through the traumatic events that occurred during the premiere have, while it seems that they've grown apart because she is dealing with a lot of that. I actually feel like what we spoke about earlier about Amaro and his being able to observe what is happening not only in an interrogation room but also with his friends, with his partner. He's actually drawing her closer. He's making sure that she's okay without mentioning anything. One of the things that I enjoy playing are those little moments where I check in with her during an interrogation that has nothing to do with her, but that I may feel upsets her and draws her back to that episode. So those little details, Lee, is really what I enjoy playing, and maybe that's what fans are picking up on.
Right, definitely. But we're looking forward to seeing this episode on Wednesday. It sounds like it's going to be a fun one. And make sure you guys check it out. It airs this Wednesday night at 9, 8 Central on NBC. And follow this guy on Twitter. Everybody, just follow him on Twitter. Just because I said so. Just because I said so. You don't need any other reason than that. I said so. Danny Pino, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning. Absolutely appreciate spending a few minutes talking with me. Absolute pleasure. Drink your second cup of coffee.
Lee, the pleasure was all mine. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Many thanks to Danny Pino for stopping by the podcast today. You can follow him on Twitter at @TheDannyPino. And you can watch him every Wednesday night at 9, 8 Central on NBC's Law & Order Special Victims Unit. That's it for me for right now. I'm Novell J. Lee, making sure you keep getting the latest buzz with Buzzworthy Radio by simply logging on to our website at www.buzzworthyradio.net. You can also follow us on Twitter at Buzzworthy Radio and liking us on our Facebook page. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Can't get enough of Buzzworthy Radio. Log on now to www.buzzworthyradio.net to get the latest news on upcoming guests, past shows, and videos of all your favorite stars. Keep getting the latest buzz with Buzzworthy.